Science Swimming Show. I'm your host, Brittany McLean Campbell, and I can't believe we're already at episode 4. I'm having so much fun chatting about my favorite sport. I hope you can feel the passion through the screen. Today, I'm really looking forward to my chat with our special guest. He is a 6-time NCAA champion. He is an Olympic medalist. He's a 2-time Olympian. He's a Canadian record holder, one of the most successful men to ever swim for Team Canada. Please welcome my guest, Josh Liendo. Josh, you just wrapped up exams. Thank you for spending some time with us. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, happy to be done with exams and just looking forward to the summer now.
What was your hardest course this semester? I have to ask.
Physiology,
Ooh,
probably. That was definitely the toughest one.
that is quite challenging. I never had to do it, but I can attest to a few teammates. It sounds quite daunting. I haven't taken classes in almost a decade, but it sounds quite hard. We're gonna get right into our chat because my favorite part of the episode is always our hot topic segment where we go into the most timely event that happened in the world of swimming over the weekend. And this one is someone you know quite well. We're going to talk about Katie Ledecky in our hot topic segment because she had one of the most historic weekends in her whole career, the
Mhm.
best meet she's had in almost a decade. And you swim with her at the University of Florida. So you are right, boots on the ground. You see her train every day. I have to ask, were you expecting the performances that we saw from Katie Ledecky?
Well, y yes and no. Um, she's been training really well. Like I'm not with, especially for main sets and stuff. I'm not with like the distance group. But I like every now and then we're in like a lane close to each other, and like she's been like moving. She's been training really well. Everyone from the distance group says she's been training well. So I knew she was gonna go fast, but I didn't think she was gonna like go that fast at Fort Lauderdale, at least. But yeah, I mean it was really impressive, and it was cool to see. I think she might have even surprised herself with those times, and yeah, just really happy for her.
Yeah, and I think what I love about the University of Florida so much is that, and I said that as a Georgia Bulldog. How dare I just have that statement? But what
Yeah.
I'm so impressed by, we are rivals, by the way. What I'm so impressed by is the fact that both of the sorry, not even Olympic record holders. Both of the world record holders in the 1500 free train at Florida under coach Anthony Nesty. And also some of the best sprinters in the world, being yourself, Caleb Dressel, a lot of other post grads, are also in that training group. So, can you describe a little bit of how the work is divided and how you kind of have both of those really big successful programs?
Yeah, I think they've done a good job like having a balance. Like there's been times rarely where I would do a set with Katie, but once in a blue moon. Sometimes we do warm up together, but once we get into the kind of like main piece of work, it's very I feel like Nessie does a good job of kind of splitting it and knowing, who needs what. I feel like me, especially being there for, 3 years now, he kind of knows what I need. Obviously he knows what Katie needs, what Bobby needs. And I think he just does a good job of like catering to those needs. Um, and then obviously once we find out what works, it's something that we keep doing. And yeah, I think that's how it works so well. It's kind of just finding out what each person needs and what helps them be successful.
Yeah, and one of Katie's, big highlights off the weekend was the world record in the 800 freestyle on the last night. And you could hear the roar of the crowd. I know, like you said, you were unfortunately not able to be at the meet because, of course, you had exams to finish up, but you could hear the world of swimming almost collectively, like taking a breath for Ledecky, knowing how I can't even imagine. And I wondered if you can provide some context, Josh, but after 9 years of not going a best time in an event, obviously the best time is a world record, but talk about
Yeah.
kind of that mental side as an athlete. We're going to watch kind of the finish for Katie, and there's a lot of emotion coming up when she touches the wall. But talk about the work that has to be put in to go that long without seeing that kind of time on the board that you've worked so hard for, and then having to continue to pursue new goals, new dreams, and kind of keep things consistent while also finding new ways to improve.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's the finish.
It
I
really
don't know.
is
I feel like,
remarkable.
yeah, yeah. I mean, she looks like she's swimming like 100 free. Like, yeah,
Well, she came home in like a 28.
yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Katie, I always say Katie and Bobby, I'm like, you guys are robots. Like Katie, like the f funny story, right after this, like obviously the meet finished on Saturday. She came back Monday morning and she did almost a 9K that practice. So she like didn't really didn't really slow down since she's done this. But yeah, that's look, she's showing a lot of emotion there. I mean,
Well,
it's just good to see because like she works, someone that works so hard, right? Like no one deserves it more. And someone that has such a good attitude. I don't think I've ever met someone at that level with a better attitude than Katie towards the sport and towards swimming and towards like performances specifically. Even if it wasn't a good performance, she would still have a good attitude towards it. So yeah, it's good to see, and she deserves it 100%.
I love that context. I think every single person collectively in the swimming world has those words to say about Katie Ledecky, which
Yeah.
is what makes me so thrilled. How long she's been successful. We go all the way
Mhm.
from I remember the London 2012 Olympics. She was only a young teenager, and now to see her this far like into her career at 28 years old, pushing new barriers in the events that on paper nobody expects you to continue to drop time in. She's proved everybody
Yeah.
wrong. People started counting her out, and then Ledecky says, "Nah, I am still in this thing." And that was what was so magical about it to me, is like being able to know how many expectations have been placed on her, how many people have over the years obviously congratulated her, but also there's had doubts winding around her brain, and then for her to make this
Mhm.
stamp and say, "LA, I'm coming for you." That was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just Katie for you. Like she's always working hard, and that's just a testament to the work that she's put in, and she's never taken a step back. Like she just works hard every single day. And obviously, like you said, she's been kind of in a little bit of a plateau, some would say, but yeah. I mean, she's been, and you don't really see it as someone from the outside, but she's been working on a lot, right? To get better. Like I don't know if you watched underwaters off that last wall, but she did a couple underwaters there in 800 free, and it's just like she's still trying to get better, even though she's already the best. So that's something that I have huge respect for.
I love that. And it's such good insight because I think no matter what, you can see the best in the world. And it really is motivating for someone, even that's been retired as long as I am. It's motivating to see them find new ways to continue to improve. And I think that's what sport's all about. That's why we watch, that's why we love it. Pivoting a little bit to your own career, because University of Florida has a very special place in your heart as well. I wanted to ask, we're going to get into this NCAA season because it was phenomenal, by the way, for you and your team. What made you
Mhm.
initially choose Florida and what brought you to the South?
Well, originally I wasn't planning on going down to do school. I was just gonna, stay at the High Performance Center in Ontario and yeah, just kind of take it, go pro basically up in Canada and swim there. But just the way it worked out the in 2022, that was kind of my breakout year, I would say. But that year, I just like my coach Ben Titley wasn't at the center anymore. He left this like had to leave the center at that point, and that's kind of the point where I started looking looking somewhere else because we didn't really know what the next step was going to be. And Nesty actually reached out to me, and then one of the first people to reach out to me after that happened. And yeah, that's kind of where it started. I had other schools in mind, but Florida just seemed like the right place, the right fit.
And I think I spoke on episode one with Kylie and Finley a lot about the U Sports system. And one of my goals with the show is to kind of share the different areas of pathways through swimming and the different places it can take. Of course, I went NCAA, you as well. I wondered if you can
Mhm.
describe the energy of an NCAA championships.
Yeah, I always tell even like the freshmen that come in, and there's some Canadians in here who are freshmen that are coming in, and I kind of tell them like it's not like nothing you've ever experienced. Like it's not comparable to a meet in Canada. They go crazy over here, and just the energy and the atmosphere is it's comparable to any big meet. It's one of the most fun meets, loudest meets that you'll ever go to.
And you are now a finishing up your junior year, I guess, which I feel like
Mhm.
I know I'm not living it, but I feel like that went by fast. You're going to be a senior next
Yeah, it
year.
did. Yeah.
I wanted to ask this year specifically, what was the highlight of the meet for you?
Um, I would have to say the 100 free for sure at the end. Just yeah, being able to get my hand on the wall in that 100 free final, and then also looking over and seeing like my team just going crazy after that race. But it's hard to it's definitely hard to pin one moment down, but I would definitely say that that moment at the end was a good one.
And just because he will never brag fully about himself, I need to provide a bit of context here. Josh was the kind of underdog going into this race because in the morning, one of his competitors, Jordan Crooks, broke the national record, or I guess like the open record. In the event, Josh is only the third person to ever break 40 in the 100-yard freestyle. I'm like making sure I'm getting all my facts right. Only the third person ever to get under that barrier, but you were trying to repeat for the third year in a row, which it's one thing to win one NCAA championship, but to be able to do it a third year in a row, did you go into this event with a little bit of added pressure trying to get that third win?
Yeah, there's always that added pressure. And I obviously there's a target on your back, but I mean I'm always hungry for that win, and that was kind of the mentality going into it. And you know, nothing really changed, I guess. And that was just I still had the same mentality going into the final that I always had.
And you also won the 100-meter butterfly as well. A phenomenal swim there. It was an epic meet for you. You had some relay highlights. It is such a team event. And I wanted to ask because you mentioned that, you talked to some of the freshmen. There was their first ever NCAA championships, and you kind of showed them the ropes a little bit. I wondered what was the biggest difference from freshman Josh, who had no idea what he was in for, to now junior coming into senior Josh and where you're at now?
Yeah, I just think I have a different focus on racing, and just kind of obviously as I try to improve, I just kind of I've just learned so much, and I try to be like a sponge and soak things up, even though you know I've obviously been through it a couple times. Um, but yeah, I just feel like I just keep learning, and obviously now like I'm kind of mentoring some of these younger guys too. Obviously freshman Josh is just trying to find my way and figure out how to like swim in the NCAA, and now I kind of see that role of I've already been through it. I can help some of these younger guys out, especially internationals who don't really know anything about yards at all. Kind of help them out. I'm kind of in that role now.
Yeah, and I chatted a few weeks ago with Byron McDonald, who helped kind of provide the context of like where we're at in our season. And we talked about how short course kind of ends around March, which is when the NCAA championships were. And now we pivot to the long course season. And so I wanted to talk to you about kind of your outlook on long course. Trials are coming up very shortly. Are you planning on racing long course before trials? And where's your head at going into that big event for that really shapes what your summer looks like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Definitely excited to swim long course. Obviously, last summer there there's some good results, and there were some results that I would want to improve on from Paris. So yeah, just excited to kind of put together what I've been working on in training. And yeah, I will be at a meet next week. I'm going to Mel Zajac, so I'll swim a long course meet for trials. And yeah, just I'm excited to race long course. I feel like I'm ready. I feel like the things that I've been working on in practice have been very much catered to long course this year, especially. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, and you spoke about your program and all the different successes. I wanted to note that one of the really special things is about the NCAA system and season is often there are a ton of different international athletes that are also prioritizing long course. It's not just about the short course
Mhm.
season. There's definitely
Yeah.
a pivot to long course. I wanted to ask, are there specific goals for trials, or are you using trials more as kind of get the job done and really focus on the world championships?
Yeah, I think always the goal is to be better at the World Championships. But like I said, there's a lot of things that I've been working on, a lot of things that I've been practicing, just technique, just everything specifics, and trials is kind of a good environment to make sure that I hit those, and then kind of see and maybe fine tune those for the next meet.
And with the new stroke 50s, are we going to dabble maybe in a 50 fly perhaps?
Yeah, I've have like a love-hate relationship with the 50 fly. Like I'm not the best at it. My 50 fly best time right now is from Paris, my opening 50 and my 100. I don't know. I can't haven't really figured it out long course yet, but I mean it is a fun event, and so we'll see. We'll see now that they're at it into the Olympics. We'll see what I do with that event. But yeah, I'm a little iffy on the 50 fly. I know it might be surprising, but I feel like the hundred's always been my stronger one, and hopefully I can have the 50 fly in there.
Well, I think it's interesting context because you really people assume, oh, you're a sprinter and it's a short event and you do that stroke, so why wouldn't you hop in? But I think butterfly is so much about timing and rhythm, and often if you
Mhm,
rush your stroke, you're then putting yourself at a disservice for the speed that you're
yeah.
knowing how to build. And so it isn't
Mhm.
necessarily just, copy paste.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I haven't really ever trained for the 50. Like obviously when I was younger age grouper, two fly was one of my best events, and then obviously as I started getting bigger, putting on muscle, I went to the 100. But I never really trained. The speed from my 50 would come, from the training I do for the 100 fly. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how, I kind of handle, them being added and see how I can handle that event.
I look forward to watching it. Victoria will be the home of trials in just a few weeks' time. Before we move on, I wanted to ask about life since Paris. You mentioned you have some new goals and things you did really well, but also things you want to kind of improve upon. Now that you're an Olympic medalist, has anything changed or is it really just status quo?
Um, I feel like yeah, there's a different perspective now. Before I was kind of like just trying to see like chasing goal, like chasing like certain things, but like certain results. I think right now I'm just focused on, like how can I get better? How can I improve on the little things? And I think just that experience, I feel like the more I race on the world stage, the more I race the best in the world, the more experience that I get, and I feel like the better it makes me. So I feel like I just kind of have my mentality just shifts each year. So I think that's just the same deal. Paris was definitely a big step forward for me to be able to get an Olympic medal. And then I'm just trying to see if I can make that next step in my career right now.
It's been so fun to watch and continue to see you make new strides in the sport and break new barriers. We're going to move on to our fun no cap segment. So, I've got my lovely swim cap, which, by the way, I'm still taking offers if anyone wants to donate a swim cap. I'm joking because every time I have a new athlete on, I'm like, Finley has his own like logo, and I'm like, hey, Finn, do you want me to kind of give you some branding? But I'm going to do no
Would
cap
love that.
with Josh Liendo, where I ask a random question that a lot of them are inputted by fans at home. So let me dig. Okay. No cap with Josh. Oh, okay. We've had so many questions about shaving down. I think people are fascinated the fact that swimmers are like all shaved down. So this question has come in from a guest. Not a guest, a viewer. How often in a season would you shave down for a meet? Is it twice a year? Is it 4 times a year? Is it once? Can you give us any insight?
Uh, I feel like with the NCAA, like being in at Florida with a team in the NCAA, it's a little more than if I would just say, be pro. It would probably just be, one or two meets. Now I think this year I shaved a little bit for SECs. And then obviously NCAA is a full shave down. Um, and trials, maybe not. I'm not sure. So yeah, I think it's around three now, three, four. Last year, I didn't shave for SECs, but I did for NCAA's Olympic trials, and then obviously the Olympics. So that was three. So yeah, around that number.
Great stuff. Now I have to follow up ask when you said I shaved a little bit for SECs. How does one shave
Mhm.
a little bit? Are you shaving legs and not arms?
Yeah, or just like a trim, and then I left the goatee. Um, But yeah, it's just kind of last year at SEC, I didn't shave at all. I left the beard, and then this year we had Texas come in, so they wanted to be a little more ready for that. But yeah, it's just like the SECs I didn't really like care too much. Just kind of quick
Yeah.
little shave, and then just went.
No, and it's good context because when Byron was explaining shaving down, part of it that we talked about was that you get
Mhm.
like a glide through the water. So in theory, if
Yeah.
you trim and not shave, you're still keeping a little bit of that extra feeling for the big event. So great to know.
Mhm.
Before I let you go, do you happen to know if Katie Ledecky was shaved down for past weekend?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Like I
Oh my
said, she was training
gosh.
hard before and then came back and she was still training hard. And like I said, I think even she was surprised by that swim. So, I
Wow.
mean, maybe she goes faster. It'll be exciting to see.
Oh my gosh. Well, we heard it from the source here. She was training fully hard before this meet. She broke a world record unshaved. I'm in awe of this woman. She is incredible. I'm also in awe of you, Josh. So before we let you go, I do want to give you a chance to give a quick shout out to your mom. It is Mother's Day. So I wondered if you have a message for
Yep.
Claudette. I love your family. They are some of the best swim parents ever. So, what is your words to your mom for Mother's Day?
Yeah, I mean, she's the best. I would just say, love you, mom, and yeah, obviously, thanks for all the support and thanks for the continued support and worrying about me all the time and making sure that I'm doing well. But yeah, just thanks for everything and just where I am right now, I wouldn't be here without it. So
And we are so grateful for all the swim moms out there. So, without further ado, we're actually going to hear from my swim mom as well. So, over now to Michelle McLean. Thank you so much, Josh.
awesome.
Thanks, Josh. That was really fun. I
Thanks.
appreciate your time.